book the UK. Okay, so when it comes to correcting homework, my philosophy is always this: we're gonna trust the key that is given to us, and by that I mean we're gonna follow the answers that are given to us, and we're gonna explain in accordance with the answers. And I think that if you want to improve in like your IELTS reading and listening scores, you're gonna have to play by that rule as well, right? The answers always dictate everything. So if your answers are different from the ones prescribed to you by the books, you change your answers, you change your perspective. Okay. All right. So first of all, I'm going to show you the answer. It's in the book, but all right, let me show you that. It's unit 1. Oh, listening scripts. No. We need the answers. For reading first, we're going to go through reading, and then we're going to go through listening. I think this is the one, exercise 14, if I'm not mistaken. Now, everybody, can you, oh wait, 15. Now, everybody, have a good look at these answers and tell me which question you got wrong. And we will only focus on the questions that you need my help with. Quốc Anh darling, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. It means that you have been listening to me. You're supposed to answer in English, not Vietnamese. Good job. Now, correct your answers. Oh, by the way, people, if you're available in the morning and you want to have some English speaking time, I will always be available from 10 to 12 in the morning. And it's not like no, it's a free session. I'm not going to charge you anything. You just hop in. If you want to have like an English conversation in the morning, feel free to hop in. And I'm only doing this because ever since I started working as a freelance teacher, my sense of discipline has been on a slippery slope. And by that I mean I tend to wake up at 12, like midday, when the morning is already past, right? So I feel like I'm gonna need to make my mornings a bit more productive. So if you have some spare time in the morning, feel free to hop in this link. All right, I'll keep it open from 10 to 12. And aside from like a normal conversation, we just talk. If you want my help with like marking your speaking performance, I will also be willing to do that. Okay, but of course it's for free. The purpose of that session is not for me to teach you anything, although I probably will, because I'm a teacher. But the primary purpose is for me to stay awake from 8 till 12, right? So that I can sleep at night. That's all. Okay, loud and clear. Did you hear me loud and clear? Phương Dao has been nodding and Gian has been nodding as well. So I'm sure that these two know what I'm up to. Hằng and Quốc Anh, did you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. But I reckon that you won't be able to join because you are an employee. Okay, now check your answer. Do you need my help with any of these questions? If that's a no, we'll move on. Phương, any question from 1 to 12?
Question 6.
Question 6.
Yeah, they said that we just have 3 words. So the state of
California. Okay, I'll have a look at that. I think that when it comes to, first of all, this is just a practice book. So the answers would not be as like foolproof as the ones you find in the Cambridge series. So technically you're looking at 4 words, right? But in English, the word of is not considered to be a word when it comes to answers. But if you, as long as you know this is the answer, I'm sure that in the test you'll get it right as well. It has to be the state of California or California. That should be fine. Hằng, any question regarding these reading questions?
No.
No, okay. So I'm gonna assume that you guys have no other question. I'm gonna move on with the reading exercise for unit 2. Here, I believe is the last one, 15. 1B, 2C, and 3 and 4B. Never seen so many B's in my entire life, especially because of the fact that my study record was full of A's. That's good. Now, Phương, don't give me that look. I was a good student. Oh, and by the way, yes.
Where is it? I can find it.
Exercise, okay, go to unit 2 and it's reading and it's the exam skill. If you haven't done it, you can just tell me. Quốc Anh, any question?
I missed this
Sorry,
homework.
You do this homework? Really,
I
dude?
didn't do that. Sorry. I didn't do
Okay.
this in this
Okay,
unit.
okay. Okay, so now I assume that you also didn't do it. Did you do it?
Me?
Did you do it? Yes.
I saw it. Okay, let me check first.
Okay, Kian, do you do this one?
I did this.
Oh, okay. So two marks for Phương Dao and Vương Trung Kiên for their stupendous sense of responsibility. Trần Diệu Hằng and Lê Quốc Anh though, I'm calling you by your governor's name. Because
Sorry.
okay, it's okay. You can do this at home and we're gonna go through them perhaps in the next lesson. Phương Dao, out of 4, how many did you get right?
Just 2 and
Just 2.
wrong answer.
Okay, so these 2 are.
Oh,
Sorry, teacher, can you tell me what is the page of this branch?
I don't know because I'm looking at the answer key.
Okay.
33. 33.
Page 33. Page 33.
33.
Yes, Phương darling, which question do you need my help with?
1 and 3.
1 and 3. Okay, I think that we can course through this easily. It's okay. And then the listening homework as well. Have you done your listening homework? 33. Down here. All right, so this passage is about a kind of like a short version of the football history. And question, where's the question again? Oh, okay, here. Question 1, right? Where can the first traces of football be found? So first traces are essentially clues, but traces are very small bits of information. So where can we find this?
The first one?
Okay, so it's somewhere around here, right?
Origin of the game
Developed in England, but this is not the origin.
origin of the game are present.
Where? Oh, okay. The origins of the games are present in sports played thousands of years ago, China, so on and so forth, right? Can you see this part? Phương Dao, darling, can you see this part? China, Egypt, Japan, and Greece. Am I lagging? Hello? Phương, can you see this part? She's out as well. What are these people up to? Hold on. Pause. Anyway, people, let's continue. So the one who asked this damn question is not even here, but I'm gonna have to press on with it. Anyway, so the answer is found in this sentence. Aspects of the game can be traced as early as the 2nd and 3rd centuries BC in China. So I assume that the answer will be China. Is that true? Yeah. Okay, so 1B here. So I think that there are many sentences talking about the origin of this particular game. But if you continue reading, you'll see that there's only one conclusion. Aspects of the game can be traced as early as the 2nd game. So number 1 is here. Okay, Hang got it. Okay, and then we move on to question number 3. You guys can, jump on this bandwagon right now. Before rules were established in the 1800s, which of these activities was considered normal? Normal, so you have stealing for opponents, destroying players' property, being violent towards the referee. So we need to find that number, the 1800s. It should be in this section here. Read this part and then decide your answer.
B.
Yes, I can tell from the answer key.
It was considered normal to hit players
Where is
on the
that?
opposite team. The middle of that paragraph.
Okay,
For example,
before.
something.
Okay, before the 1800s, it was considered normal. Okay, acceptable. Normal
To
to hit
damage their possessions.
So hit players on the opposite team and damage their possessions. So that should be equal to B here, right? Damage their possessions. They could be violent, but not the referee. Not the referee. Okay. So that should be B here. Okay, got it? Okay. We're going to continue with the homework for listening. So I'm sure that Kian did it already. Quốc Anh and Hằng, did you do your listening homework?
Sorry, teacher, because I don't have
Yes, I did it.
block.
Okay, so we'll skip the listening homework, but be sure to wrap it up before next lesson on Saturday. That's all. Okay, we're gonna press on with our speaking training. Phương Dao, darling, your laptop is branded HP, and I'm gonna assume that it stands for high performance. There was no performance on that screen. What happened?
I have a questions in
Yes.
listening test.
Yes.
Which is the best way to do the listening test, like the one multiple choice? Because I'm doing 2 ways. The first way, I underline the keyword and then underline the keyword in answer, but I find trouble to find the key, to find the answer. The second method I use that I only read the questions and then I note down all the words that I hear in the text, but both of them can make me to find the best answer.
MCQ, right?
Yes.
As far as MCQs go, I think that there are multiple ways to deal with that particular exercise. I mean, my bread and butter is note taking because I can't paraphrase that fast. You understand? So I'm teaching. Maybe I'm teaching you. I'm not sure if I have taught you, note taking skills, but there are techniques that you can use. It's just that it's not exactly kind of like a foolproof technique. Sometimes it's not gonna work. Sometimes it's better for you to just, listen and choose your answers. Understand? So I don't think that I have the answer for that. But personally, I think that if you feel like note taking is not effective, you can give it another go. You need like at least 3 results to feel like you're getting something that is reliable. You understand? You have to give it at least like 3 tries, and you'll get 3 results to sort of like get something that is like trustworthy. All right. And if after 3 times, if you still have the same struggle, perhaps you need a different approach. Like you just listen to the question and answer it as you go. I mean, some of my friends can do that, and some of my former students were also able to do that. But I can't because, you know, I can't paraphrase that fast while listening. Guang, darling, do you hear me?
Yes.
But I don't remember assigning any exercises that would actually require note taking.
In multiple choice, I cannot read the questions and the answer at the same time. So I just only read the questions and the keyword, and then I note down all the things I can hear. But even I note down some information. When I choose the answer, I still have trouble with it.
Well, then it means that you either have to, you know, choose a completely different approach, or perhaps your note-taking skills is still not effective yet.
Yes,
It still hasn't.
I noticed that the answer, there are 2 answers that's similar to each other, and I cannot
Distinguish them.
yes.
Okay. Interesting question. It's just my generic advice for now is that you take better notes. Open your transcript. Open your transcript and make sure that you can see the part where the answer is. Okay. Open your transcript and find the part where the answer is underlined. And you have to make sure that you can note down the words, the crucial words in that underlined part. Got it? Yeah, but I mean, note taking is a bit risky because it is true that you never know what exactly you should be noting for. But that is something that comes with the territory. I mean, when we take notes during our teachers' classes, sometimes we miss a couple of like crucial pieces of information that we need to ask other friends, you know, to help us with. That happens all the time. So just give it some practice. All right. My advice when it comes to note taking is that you note every sentence. Yeah, you note a bit of information in every sentence. It can be a bit like intensive and you know, laborsome, but it helps you to create like a rhythm when you note. But that's a very generic advice. And when we have time for, you know, exercises that actually deal more with that, I'm going to give you some more practice. All right. Okay. Now let's move on to our very first speaking lesson. I'm just going to ask you a question, and I would like you to answer to the utmost of your being. Okay. We're going to talk about your hometown, your homes, as in, you know, your apartments or your houses or your castles or your, you know, tents, depending on where you live, and transportation and what you do in your free time. Okay. So first off, let's talk about hometown. Hằng, please, where do you come from?
Oh, yeah. I come from the really small province, Quảng Bình, in
Okay.
Đồng Hới City. Yeah.
Okay. Well then, what do you like best about your hometown?
I like the most about the scenery here because in here we can see both the sea and the mountain too. We can
Okay.
go to, yeah. We can
Continue.
We can travel many destinations.
So there are lots of tourist attractions.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well then, is there anything that you dislike about your hometown?
I think that the most thing that I really not interested in the atmosphere here because it's not so exciting like the modern city. It's like the peace countryside, something like that.
Okay. So essentially you feel like even though your hometown is very beautiful, blessed with all of the like spectacular scenery, it's still a bit boring, and you personally would prefer the like hustling and bustling like ambience of big cities.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now let's move on with the next topic then. Your own home, as in where you live. Now, please, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
To be honest, I mean, I think that even though that we go way back, I still can't distinguish like your last name and your first name. Sometimes I can't tell whether I should call you Dao or Phương. What is your real name again?
My first name is Phương. Yes,
Okay.
not Đào. Đào is the last name.
Okay, sure. Because both Dao and Phương can be first names, right? It's not like Quân and Lê. You can only take one. Okay, Phương then, or Dao or whatever. Okay, girl. Where are you living at the moment?
Right now, I'm live in my my hometown is Kon Tum.
Okay.
Yes,
In Con what now?
Kon Tum. You know.
Okay, yes, because I know that place, but your pronunciation made it a bit alienating, like contumes. Really, girl?
Yes.
Okay, well then, in your home, which is your favorite room?
My well, I think I love my bedroom the most because you know, in the hot weather, I can live and stay in my bedroom all day because it got the conditioner air, make me feel better than outside.
Okay, so essentially your bedroom has got its own air conditioner, which just makes the whole room always cool.
Yes.
Wow, how blessed are you? I don't even have an air conditioner in my room. Okay, but then, do you want to redecorate your house?
Decorate your house, my house, right?
Yes, do you want to change the decoration of your house? And why?
Well, to be honest, I don't mind about that. Yes, but if I have a change, I will change my living room. I think it's quite traditional style, and I want to remove something hard like the table is made from wood and I don't like it, so I want to remove them and instead I will buy some sofa and armchair. It's making me feel better than when I sit on it and watch a TV.
Okay, cool, very nice ideas. Well, I don't have a house, so I wouldn't be able to make any suggestions here. Now you do you, girl. Let's move on. Hold on, let me send you a text message noting down some of the things that I have noticed. Okay, good. I sent you a text message. Check that. Next topic then, let's talk about transportation. How often do you, how do you often get around? Kian, please.
Hello? Oh, okay.
Yes. The question is, how do you often get around, like travel around?
Usually I use my bike to travel around, but most of the time I use for going to school. And as you know that I going school by bus, so I come to school by bus and home by bus, and then for the other works I will use the bike.
Okay, so essentially you commute to and from work by bus, but then for other personal businesses, you will use your personal motorbike. Okay. Do you want to use, when you were younger, did you often use public transport?
public transport. No, actually, I always want to own my own car. Not, I mean that the personal, not the public.
Yes, okay. But when you were younger, did you use public transport?
My
Like when you were a kid, or when you were in high school, did you have to use public transport?
no, I haven't.
Hmm. And any reason for that?
I mean that I use my personal vehicle.
Okay, so essentially, even when you were younger, you never used public transport because you got your own personal vehicle and it was just a lot more convenient for you than hopping on a bus. Okay, cool. Thank you. That should be it. Now let's move on and with one more topic, hobbies. What do you often do in your free time? Phương?
I love reading in my free times because when I read, I feel everything so peace and tranquil, I think. And reading help me to calm myself and to help me to learn knowledge that I haven't seen in my daily life.
Really? You find reading peaceful? Okay.
Yes.
Well then, in the future, do you want to have a different hobby and why?
Different hobby. I think one thing comes to my mind when I think about it. Maybe I want to have some sport in my daily routine because I want to improve my shape and to sharpen my shape and want to improve my health. Because I have to work 8 hours per day, so I feel sometimes I feel really tired. So I need to improve my health.
Okay, so you want to get in better shape when
Yes.
you work by working out. Okay. Sure. Wait, hold on. Let me send you a text message. For some reason, I've never associated the concept of reading with peaceful and tranquil. Like, I mean, it is peaceful, but it's because I want to fall asleep. If I open a book, my face will be on it after like 5 minutes. So, okay, if you find reading peaceful, I think that there's a better word for it. Perhaps relaxing. Yeah, it can be very relaxing because if you describe something as peaceful, you don't say listening to music is peaceful, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's better for you to say that listening to music is very relaxed. Yeah. So technically, in terms of grammar, you can say that I find reading very peaceful and tranquil. But I don't think that's what people say in common sense. So perhaps you can change it into relaxing. Okay. Okay. Hương is here. You see, Huang, I told you she would be in after 30 minutes. Hương, darling, how are you? We're speaking English here. Hương, darling, can you hear me?
They didn't hear you because it's a problem in connecting. Yeah, I have you.
For the teachers of a school called Victoria, you guys have had a lot of losses today in terms of internet connection. Okay, by the way, people, I'm also on my cellular data. And I feel like somewhere down the line, hopefully not in this class, it's gonna run out. But when that happens, we're gonna have like a short pause when I, buy my data again. Okay, Hương, can you hear me now? What would Hương do without Hằng? Nothing, I suppose. Anyway, now while waiting for Hung, I want to introduce you to the speaking test. I have already asked each one of you a few questions in the format of a speaking test. Okay. So I think that for the first one, who got the first topic? Hung, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And essentially in the very first part of the test, your examiner is gonna interview you with a few personal questions. So they can talk about, you know, your hometown, your work, your hobbies, or, you know, other less common topics like, you know, stars and planets, hairstyles, birds, pets, and so on and so forth, right? So essentially they're going to ask you short questions just to warm you up for the speaking test, okay?
All right.
And the purpose of the speaking test here, I would like you to notice this. The speaking test aims to assess candidates' ability to speak rather than their knowledge. So I personally wouldn't care about, well, I don't want to say it, but like when I was listening to your responses, I didn't put so much emphasis on the content of your answers because it makes sense. It makes sense. You guys were on topic the entire time, except for Gin and his weirdosity with like buying cars when I was only asking about whether or not he would use public transport when he was younger. Okay, so except for that one response, everybody else managed to answer the questions that were given to them. So that's why I said I personally wouldn't care much about what you said because what you said already made sense. Instead, I paid a lot more attention to how you delivered these answers, right? And that's why I sent each one of you a bit of a note regarding what you should correct. For instance, you should not say, you know, the most thing that I like. You should say that the thing that I like most is, all right? The content is the same. The content is the same, but the delivery is much better and more accurate, right? When you know when you know the grammar rules. Wait, hold on. I'm distracted by this. The participant has enabled closed captioning. Okay, it's okay. Now I would like you to read these two responses and tell me which answer gives you a stronger impression that the person could speak. Okay. I would like Hung, please. Are you even in the building? Hung and her eternal struggle with connecting to this class.
Em nói được rồi ạ. No Vietnamese. No Vietnamese. Yeah. Sorry.
Hey girl. Now read the two responses. Come on.
Response 1. I think that I really like the food there. It's delicious. I often eat the traditional markets, mostly in the afternoon, and the food is great. Response
number 2.
Yeah, response number 2. Well, there are many things that I love about my hometown, but I'm most certainly a big fan of its wonderful cuisine. The food in traditional markets and the street vendors is really something else. Every afternoon before my classes in the evening, I have to munch on something.
To munch on something, essentially to eat something. Okay. First of all, both of these responses can be found in real life, right? The first and the second, they're both what are considered to be natural ways to respond. But the question is, in your opinion, if you have to assess someone's ability to speak, which one would give a stronger impression? Hung, darling, you're still the one who's answering. Which one gives you a stronger impression? Girl.
I think response number 2. Give me...
Yes, why?
Because it's the response number 2 explain more about the question. Do you like your hometown and why?
But the
Why
content is the
response-
same. The content is the same in response number 1. Both of these responses are speaking about the same thing. Okay, think about it. Ian, darling. Which one gives you a stronger impression of a person's ability to speak, and why?
I think it's the second response because it gives us more detail about the I mean the reason that why he or she like his or her hometown. I mean that.
Okay. Right. Your answer has been registered. Hung, do you have a different perspective, or do you agree with the other two?
I have another idea. Like because the response 2 have more advanced vocab, so I think it's like it shows that the person have advanced in English.
Vocabulary.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, vocabulary, and as well as like it's used longer and
Sentences.
complete sentences. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think
So
that is better.
okay, thank you, Hung. I would agree with all of you. First of all, as I told you earlier, both of these responses could be considered as normal answers in an English-speaking context. I'm sure that you have encountered, people answering in, in the way of the very first response here. They just, use simple sentences, right? And the ideas are very clear. Okay, so both of these responses talk about the same thing. They essentially speak about the same thing. And the good thing about both of these responses is the fact that there are ideas. Essentially, when you listen to their answers, when you listen to the answers, you can sort of like visualize or understand what the person likes about his or her hometown, right? But the second sentence will give a much stronger impression because of the fact that this is crucial. What Hung said, I'm not really sure about the vocabulary because cuisine, street vendors, and munch on, I would say, yeah, these are less common vocabulary, but they are by no means advanced vocabulary. They're normal. What I would say, natural vocabulary. You will be able to learn them from anywhere. But the difference between the two responses here is that the second one actually focuses on connecting ideas together using like different types of sentences. So first off, in the first case here, it's just about, I think that I really like the food there. That's it. But in the second case, you can see that, well, there are many things that I love about my hometown, but I'm most certainly a big fan of its wonderful cuisine. It essentially is the same thing, right? The same idea, the same content. It's just that in the second response, the speaker uses the speaker connects information using longer sentences. Okay, and when it comes to speaking, well, if you're talking about like practical speaking, you don't care about sentence length. You care about the information. But in the speaking test, they don't really care that much about the authenticity of your information. It's more about how you convey the information. And oftentimes, if you can demonstrate that you can speak at length, as in you just go on and on and on, right from the get-go, it will give you a very strong impression of your, speaking ability. Okay, right. So That's the first thing, and that is, you know, what the first lesson will be all about. You're going to need to try to speak as long as possible, and that is one of the focal points of this entire course. When you're in the examination room, it's about going all out, right? Making long sentences, not all the time, but try to, you know, use long sentences and just keep on speaking for as long as you can. Right, now, how can we extend our answers here? I think that all of you are aware of this strategy, so I'm just gonna run through it very quickly. One of the ways for you to, you know, answer or to extend your answers, not your ideas, your answers, is that you can just use additional WH questions here. Okay, for instance, if the question is about what do you often do to relax, you can say the answer here is that I often listen to music, right? And then oftentimes you will focus on the why, but personally, the examiner doesn't care about the why. He only cares about whether or not you're going to be able to speak about this activity. So you can say about anything, right? You can talk about the kind of music that you listen to, right? You can talk about when you listen to music, why you listen to music, and how often you listen to music, okay? So the sample answers to these questions are found here, okay? Can you see them?
Yes.
Okay, now, as you can tell, there are two questions that I cannot answer because I cannot make sense of them in this particular question. All right, I don't know what I should say for where, so I'm not going to leave it. So I'm going to leave it out. And the same applies to who. I don't know what to say about it, so I'm going to leave it out. All right, but for other additional questions, I can still answer them. So I'm going to include them in. Okay. Quốc Anh, please, can you cover the sample for this question?
Sample response. I often listen to music. It's one of the things that I do on daily basis. I am big on indie music at the moment, which is very relaxing and therapeutic. I actually have an indie playlist to help me distract at the end of the day. I wasn't a big fan of it back when I was younger, as I was a lot more into bombastic beat of EDM. I'm a bit older now, and I guess that this change just comes with me with the territory.
Okay.
Territory.
So there are a few, what I would say, high-end vocabulary, but don't be too obsessed with them at the moment. We're going to get to them, a lot more of them as we progress through the course. The concept that I would like you to pay attention to in this particular lesson and in this particular sample is that, you know, when you answer a question, you don't always have to be on topic. All right, you don't always have to be on topic. The question doesn't ask, like, what did you do to relax? All right, it's about what do you often do. But when you extend your answer, you know, after presenting a very clear answer, you can elaborate by giving more details, even about the past, right? So in writing, this part here would be irrelevant because it's about the past, but the question is about present, right? But in speaking, you can do it, and the examiner will actually give you more marks if you're willing to share more about, you know, you just add more details to your answers, okay? All right, now as for the vocabulary, we have a few phrases here on a daily basis, and this is how we're going to practice our vocabulary. What do you often do on a daily basis to relax? Phương, please. Phương, darling.
I'm here. What did you say, teacher?
On a daily basis, we're going to try to use these vocabulary items in our speaking. Now, what do you often do on a daily basis to relax?
Well, I often reading books when I have a free time. And it's one of the interesting things I can do is when I read books, I can find more the interesting things to do in my private life, and I
Really, you find more interesting things to do in
Yes.
your private life by reading. What kind of books do you read?
it's like
Mm.
sometimes yes.
No, I'm joking because it's okay. It's okay for you to find more interesting things to do in your free time by reading. But you know, that would naturally beg the question of, okay, what exactly do you read? All right. But anyway, that makes sense. It's just that you managed to dodge this vocabulary. I asked you a question with this vocabulary so that you would include it in your answer. So you should have said, well, I actually read on a daily basis. It helps me to relax. Understand? Put the word in your answer. Okay? Okay, one more time. Let's move on. Therapeutic. Do you think that singing is therapeutic? Hằng.
Oh, sorry, teacher.
Question here, therapeutic. So therapeutic means healing or making you feel better.
Healing. Okay. Okay.
Well then,
What is the question?
the question is, do you think that singing is therapeutic?
Totally, that is yes.
Hmm.
Because I'm a big fan of K-pop, so I really like to sing the K-pop, and it also have the content that really therapeutic me. Can we use that?
No, it's an adjective. You say it's just
Okay.
it is
Okay.
very therapeutic.
Yes, and when I listen to the K-pop song, so it's therapeutic me.
It's not therapeutic me, it's very therapeutic.
Therapeutic, yeah, it's therapeutic after the long and tired day after
Okay.
working.
Sure. So you enjoy listening to Korean music and
Yes.
it's therapeutic for you. Okay. Sure, it's sensible. The last one then, come with the territory. If something comes with the territory, it means that it's something very natural. Right? So, Kian darling, in your opinion, when let's say when you work with students and sometimes they upset you, do you think that, it comes with the territory, or is it something that you want to change?
When they upset,
Yes, when they upset you.
I think we should expect that scenario in the work. Because if you always use a single method in teaching for a long term, so I think our student will be getting upset, isn't it?
No, like when, okay,
Sorry,
the question
sorry.
is like, when kids
sorry.
upset you. Yeah. Now come on, one more time. When kids upset you, do you think that it's acceptable? Like it's something that comes with the territory and you're cool about it, or do you always overreact? Like you yell at them and like you discipline them as hard as you can?
Basically, I cannot yell on them. So and the thing, and student being upset, I think it is in our expectation, because they could be
because they're young.
Contradicted in. Yeah.
Okay, I think
I
that
don't
you're
know, but their logic is
a bit different
do
from
not
ours.
like it different.
Okay, so you feel like, you know, it really comes with the territory. Look, people, when I teach you a vocabulary item, what I want you to do is to try and use it. This is vocabulary intensive exercise, right? So slide that in, and then I will tell you that, okay, it makes sense. You can use it in that way. And that's how you can expand your vocabulary when you speak, right? So Gian agrees that, you know, kids upsetting, you know, teachers really comes with the territory because, you know, they're young and oftentimes they might not be able to control their actions, right? But Gian doesn't know how to yell at, doesn't know how to scold young kids. Okay. All right, so these are some of the vocabulary that you can use. And here's a piece of advice when you speak. If you pay attention to these samples, you can tell that I rarely use single and like simple sentences, right? Oftentimes, I'm going to try to use subordinate clauses. So what exactly are subordinate clauses? Things like which, and, here, which, and, hold on, to do something, when I was something, because here, and here. So these are the connected words that help to put like simple sentences together, okay? And you need to be able to use them to kind of like, you know, create the ability to create the impression of the ability to speak at length. So for instance, in this particular sentence, I can say, I have an indie playlist. It helps me to de-stress, and I listen to it at the end of the day. So these three sentences are simple sentences. Got it? People? Is that yes or no? Okay, good. So what I do is that I try to develop this habit of adding more information. So I'm going to combine the three of them together. Like, I actually have an indie playlist to help me distress at the end of the day. So 3 sentences in 1 sentence. Okay. So that's something that you need to do when you answer as well. Right? It's perfectly fine for you to use simple sentences, but try to develop a habit of combining information using subordinate clauses. So subordinate clauses can look like this. So when this happened, I was doing what? All right. So when I'm hungry, I often buy chocolate. Or when I was a child, I often, you know, traveled around by bus because. Understand? So you have when, and then you have because. So you have a very long sentence. Okay. And then you have while, of course, because, so, although, but, and then if. I'm sure that you're aware of these structures. So first of all, thus far, do you have any question? No. Okay. So we're going to practice right away, and before we take a break. So I have a few short sentences here that I would like you to try and connect them together. Okay. Hương, please read the first one, and you can connect them as you speak, or you can, you know, read them all and then connect them later on. The first one.
I kind of dislike the traffic jams here because it gets really bad during rush hours. The films from the car are horrible, and congestion lasts many hours. Therefore, when I get home, I just feel even more exhausted.
Okay, I think that the word therefore is going to separate these two sentences out. can you change it into another connective word that connects them together? Instead of therefore,
Yeah.
we can use.
Can I use so?
Yes, okay, now let's go from the start. I kind of dislike the traffic jams here because
Because it gets really bad during rush hours.
rush hours. And then, okay, if you want to change, you can say, the fumes from the car are horrible,
And congestion.
darling.
Like-
You need to read the full sentences. I'm only giving you, first taste.
Yeah. Okay,
From
can I?
the start.
Oh yeah, I kind of dislike the traffic jams here because it gets really bad during rush hours. The fumes from the car are horrible and congestion lasts many hours.
So
So when I get home, I just feel even more exhausted.
excellence, right? So the
Yeah.
impression here is that you know how to connect these pieces of information and you're capable of speaking at length. That's what it means to speak at length. All right. I think that personally, I wouldn't emphasize the word so, because it's like you're separating it into a different sentence. If I were you, I would say something like this. The fumes from the car are really horrible and like congestion lasts many hours. So when I get home, I just feel even more exhausted. Right? So don't emphasize the word so. Just say, so when I get home. So when I get home. Okay?
Yeah,
Hmm.
I got it.
Good. That's a very nice way to connect these words. Although I'm not really sure if that's the answer. But okay, acceptable. Continue to the second one. Quốc Anh, please.
I'm thinking about learning how to code, which is quite challenging.
Mm-hmm.
You
Because-
know there are lots
Focus
of
your-
rules
Mm.
because codes are very specific. So you can combine codes em không biết đọc từ này ạ.
Haphazardly.
Haphazardly.
Quốc Anh, really? Em không biết đọc từ này. You couldn't say that in English.
don't
Okay,
know
repeat
how-
after me. I don't know how to pronounce this word.
I don't know how to
Pronounce.
pronounce this word.
Okay, this word is haphazardly, randomly,
Randomly.
haphazardly.
Haphazardly.
Hmm.
The next connections I think is I think when I have more free time in the future, I will invest some more time.
Okay, I'll invest some time. I need to change the script here. When I have more free time in the future, I'll what should I say here? When I have more free time in the future, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. Dang it, man. Okay. Now, right from the start, let's see if you can maintain a good flow.
I'm thinking about learning how to code, which is quite challenging because there
You're gonna say and because. One more time. I'm thinking about learning how to code, which is quite challenging because there are lots of rules and codes are very specific. You understand? You cannot pause like that. One more time.
I'm thinking about learning how to code, which is quite challenging because there are a lot of rules and codes are very specific. You can combine code haphazardly. So I think when I have more free time in the future, I will give it a try.
Okay. I think that you can even combine this sentence in with the word so. Like normally you cannot say because and so in the same sentence, but in speaking you can. Right? So you can go something like this. I'm thinking about learning how to code, which is quite challenging because like there are lots of rules and codes are very specific. so you can't combine codes haphazardly. But I suppose, when I have more free time in the future, I'll give it a try. Right? So normally you don't use because and so in the same sentence when you write, but when you speak, you can still do that. Okay. Right, that should be it for this particular practice exercise regarding how to join sentences. Any question thus far? Vương Kiên on the beach. Vương Trung Kiên on the beach. For some reason, he always looks so grumpy, like I'm brimming with vitality and the energy of youth. But even though he's on the beach, he still looks like half dead and half grumpy. Any question, darling? No, okay. Hằng, any question? Okay. Now we're gonna have a 10-minute break, and when we return, we will learn more about vocabulary related to hometown and hobbies. In the first part, it's all about, speaking at length. You generate ideas and you try to use connective words, as you deliver your answers. Got it? Okay, now let's have a 10-minute break. Phương, darling, what do you like most about Kon Tum? I've never been there. So I'm very curious. Is it similar to Hanoi, or is it very different, even in the scenery?
It's really different from Hanoi. Yes, it's don't have the traffic jam. And I think the air is quite comfortable than the big cities, because the air. Do you mean fresher? Fresher? No, fresher, as in there isn't so much pollution. Okay, yes. Because when you say more comfortable, I'm thinking that you are talking about the pressure of living in big cities. Like you feel like it's stuffing all the time. You're suffocated because of the pressure. But if you say fresh, it means that there isn't so much air pollution where you live. So you're talking about fresher or more comfortable? Yes. Okay.
Which one?
I think about the people. There's people in Kon Tum is quite I don't know explaining. They are friendly and they are quite slow. And
okay, hold on. Don't use the word slow when you describe people. It means that they're dumb. What you say is that they are more laid back. Yeah, they're more laid back, as in they're more relaxed. You can write that down in your own space. So the people in your city, or is that a city or just a town?
Yeah, just a town in the province.
Okay, so the people in Kon Tum are kind of laid back, right? And they're very relaxed. So overall, that's why the atmosphere in that area is kind of it's very relaxing, and you're not under a whole lot of pressure. Okay, cool. Right, now I would like you to read the 3 samples here, right? 3 samples here, and these are responses related to, well, this particular question right here. What do you think about when talking about your hometown? Now, Phương, darling, can you read aloud?
Yes, okay. I love my hometown. It's very peaceful with many quaint old buildings. I guess it's mostly because it's not as developed as other metropolitan centers. On national holidays, I always try to come back, and it's just great to be back on home turf. The journey
Home
is not
turf. Home
turf.
turf.
home turf. The
Hmm.
journey is not easy though, since there are lots of traffic jams on days like that. But I'm used to it.
I'm used to. This is how you pronounce that. I'm used to it.
I'm used to it.
Yeah, so it has to be in one group of words. You don't cut them out. Yeah, okay. So we have a few words here. Peaceful, you know that. Quaint old buildings. So quaint means a bit strange, right? Quaint old buildings. So I often use this word when I go to the old quarter in Hanoi. Are there many quaint old buildings in where you live now?
No,
Oh, they're all normal, right?
it's quite normal.
Okay. Well, then have you ever been somewhere where there are lots of like quaint old buildings, like weird architectural styles?
I think in Quy Nhơn,
Hmm.
I don't know. Yes, it's like a jam traditional,
So
jam
these
building,
buildings
jam
are
buildings.
traditional charm buildings.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, this is an idiom, to be on home turf. Turf means a lawn, grass essentially. But when you say to be back on home turf, it means that you're back in your hometown, right? But if you say if I'm in gang turf, it means that you're in the area where there are lots of gangsters. You understand? So the word turf here means an area where people live. If you say I'm back on my home turf, it means that you're back to your hometown. That's all, right? But you can also use the word turf for other things, like I'm in a gang turf, as in I'm in an area where there are lots of gangsters and they might rob me. Understand? Okay, to be on home turf, I'm used to it. Traffic jams. I think that this is quite a relatable response. Well, not for me because I live here. I don't go anywhere on holidays. I have nowhere to be. Okay, good. Thank you, Phương. Next sentence. Next sample, please. Kiên.
Well, I have mixed feelings about my hometown. I'm an Hanoian born and bred, but I don't fancy living here for any longer. It's a vibrant place, and the hustling and bustling centers may attract people who love to have
Ceaseless
excitement in their life, not me. It's too stressful, and I can't move to another quieter town. The quietness just suits me better.
Kiên, darling, you need to work on your reading aloud skill because you struggled for dear life with this sample. One more time. Can you try reading this sentence, this response again, and make as few pauses as possible. Okay. So for instance, this is how I would do it. Well, I have mixed feelings about my hometown. I am a Hanoian, born and bred, but I don't fancy living here for any longer. It's a vibrant place, and the hustling and bustling centers may attract people who love to have ceaseless excitement in their life, but not me. It's too stressful, and I can't wait till I can move to another quieter town, because quietness just suits me better. It's very ready, but when you read, perhaps it's something that you can work on more, try to connect as much as you can. Come on. Well,
I have mixed feeling about my hometown. I'm a Hanoian, born and bred, but I don't fancy living here for any longer. It's a vibrant place, and the hustling and bustling center may attract people who love to have cases excitement in their life, but not me. It's too stressful, and I can't wait till I can move to another quiet town. because quietness just suits me better.
Okay, so this word here, so we have a few words, mixed feelings, as in like you have, both positive and negative feelings about something. If you're something born and bred, it means that you have spent your entire life there, essentially.
Ceaseless, isn't it? Ceaseless,
Ceaseless, you say cease, ceaseless, not ceaseless, you say ceaseless, ceaseless.
ceaseless.
Ceaseless in excitement. Okay, one question. Do you think that there's an activity that can bring you ceaseless excitement?
I think if it exists, it must to be playing video game.
So it has to be playing video games. Why? What kind of ceaseless excitement can you get from playing games?
How to say? It's like I will control another
Character.
character, yeah,
Mm,
character in another world,
mhm.
and I want to discover the world in the game. It's very strange from our life, like this.
Okay, and you feel like that when you get to do that, you're always stimulated, like you never get bored when play games and explore like fictional worlds like that. Okay, so one more time, I would like you to repeat it and use the word ceaseless excitement. So one more question. In the real test, nobody's gonna ask you questions containing these words, ceaseless excitement. But it's something you can practice using, even if you're not really comfortable with it for the time being, because this is your first time using it. Somewhere down the line, it's gonna become like second nature to you. Now, one more time, please. So do you think that there is something that can give you like ceaseless excitement?
I think because I'm a quiet human person, so I think if it exists, there's only one thing that
can give me
the ceaseless excitement, which is playing video game.
Sure. Tell me why.
When playing video game, I will control my own character in my own world, and I'm curious to discover that world, as well as using my hand skill and eye skill to control the game.
Okay. And you think that the actions of playing the character and exploring a fictional world can always give you some sort of excitement. Okay, fun. I mean, I'm not sure if I can relate to it, but okay, if that's what you feel like that can give you a ceaseless excitement, well then, sure. Now, next, so we have different words here. Vibrant. Then, do you think that your hometown is a vibrant place again?
No, I don't think so, because actually I was born in a countryside nearby Hanoi, and it's quite
quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet. The people have lower pace in their life. So,
okay, a slower. That's a crazy thing. You cannot say people slow, but you can say people have a slow pace in life. Right?
yeah, slower pace
in life. Okay, sure. I totally get it. I mean, some of my family members, well, not my immediate family members, but members up and down the family hierarchy, my relatives, are also residing in the countryside, and they are some of the most like laid back people I've ever seen. Like whenever I go back to my hometown, I always run around because I'm so excited. My energy is off the charts. But my cousins are always just laid back and do nothing. Okay. Next then, Trần Diệu Hằng. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that you would not hear me, but okay. Now read the third sample.
Here I'm not listening. No, I'm just talking. Okay. I don't really think my hometown is the place to be, but it's very bad. Last year, a famous YouTuber paid a visit and posted a video of his time there, which kind of made my hometown famous. There are a lot more visitors now, and business seem to be thriving. There are shopping malls, streets,
Shopping malls. I knew it. Shopping malls.
shopping malls, streets, light with chain stores and fancy restaurants. Not really sure if I'm a big fan of the tourists, because but it's great to see that the town is no longer under the radar.
Radar. You say under the
Radar.
radar.
Under
Okay,
the radar.
idioms. Okay, the place to be is essentially an expression that says, it's a hot spot and you should definitely go there. Sometimes you can, of course, you can say it about like tourist attractions, right?
Mhm.
But you can also talk about like hot pot restaurant. Yeah, like restaurants and places that attract a lot of customers. You can say it's the place to be. Or sometimes you can
place
say,
to
you
be.
can also talk, you can also use this expression to talk about places that are of high quality. For instance, you can say that, let's say Phương Dao has a center, and in Kon Tum, if you want to study English or mathematics, her center is the place to be. Yeah. Right. Thriving, it's improving, it's growing. Right.
Right.
Streets lined with something. So you have street lined with maybe trees. I would much prefer that. And under the radar. If something is under the radar, it means that you and other people don't really notice it. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's use this vocabulary. Under the radar. Do you feel like your hometown has been under the radar?
Not really. Even that is really peaceful and I need to let me take the vibrant place.
Mm.
But it also has some famous traveling destination.
Mm.
Like one of the most famous destination here is Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng Cave.
Oh, that's iconic. Okay.
Yeah. But it's something in the past. In there we have one case, one chain of case called Sơn Dòng. It's under the radar.
What?
Yes,
Sơn Dòng
but-
is not under the radar. It's all over the place. All over the internet.
In the past, I said that in the past.
In the past, okay. In the
Yeah.
past, Sơn Dòng
But-
was under the radar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good. That's a
Yeah.
very good use of
But,
vocabulary.
Yeah, and but in 2040,
14.
14, not 40. Yes, it has the scientist or maybe explorer found that cave, and it's the largest and longest cave in the world.
Yeah, so did it put your city back on the map?
Yeah.
As in,
No.
it made your hometown even more famous. If you put something on the map, it means that it makes that that something is more famous.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sơn Dòng like Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng has always been iconic, even though I have never been there.
Mm.
But I do have to say that Sundong was under the radar for a good while. And in 2014, right? When it blew up on the internet, it put your province back on the map. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. So we have a few idioms here. And by the way, if you can also say slip under the radar if you want to say that you have forgotten about something. For
Oh,
instance,
okay.
when you have lots of email, some of them may slip under your radar, right? All of the emails related to my work, they slip under the radar. Let's continue. So these are some of the vocabulary related to your hometown, and I appreciate the fact that you're gonna use that you not gonna, but you have to use my vocabulary when you speak, right? They might not sound natural to you at the moment, but give it time, and they'll become part of your arsenal. Now let's talk about hobbies. We have a few samples here. At this point, I think that you have already recognized the flow and the pattern of the class. When you read these samples, I'm going to check your pronunciation and perhaps encourage you to make more connections as you speak. And then I'm going to ask you to use some of the words in the samples. All right. Okay. Quốc Anh, darling, what are your hobbies? The first sample.
Reading, right?
Yes.
I have recently picked up running, which is a lot of fun. I love the feeling when I go running. It can be tiring at first, but once you have settled into the rhythm, it does become easier. One surprising benefit of running is that I can take my mind off work. After a while, I do feel that my
Stamina.
has improved
Notably.
And my legs have become more toned.
Okay, it has nothing to do with you. I appreciate the fact that when the samples are read, Phương and sometimes Kian and sometimes Hằng also read along. Love it. Now you do that, okay? When people are reading these samples, I would like you to participate in a passive way as well. Okay, Quốc Anh, darling, personally, I would recommend you to pause in certain parts, especially at the end of each sentence. Here, so it should go something like this. I have recently picked up running, which is a lot of fun. I love the feeling when I go running. It can be tiring at first, but once you have settled into a rhythm, it does become easier. And one surprising benefit of running is that I can take my mind off work. After a while, I do also feel that my stamina has improved notably, and my legs have become more toned. Okay, so at the end of each sentence, you should pause. Okay? There's no point rushing at these points. Okay, do you want to give another try?
Yes.
One more time.
I have recently picked up running, which is a lot of fun. I love the feeling when I go running. It can be tiring at first, but once you settle into rhythm, it does become easier. One surprising benefit of running is that I can take my mind off work. After a while, I do feel my stamina has improved notably, and my legs have become more toned.
Okay, I need to put the word also here for better connection. One surprising benefit of running is that I can take my mind off work. And also, after a while, I do feel, and also, okay, just for better connection. And also, after a while, I do feel that my stamina has improved notably, and my legs have become more toned. Okay, cool. Settle into a rhythm. It means that you have a rhythm, like you have kind of like a routine to follow, right? Take your mind off work. It means that you don't think about your work anymore, right? Stamina is your ability to do something for a very long period of time. For instance, one of the objectives of this course is to improve your speaking stamina. It's okay. I think that all of you can speak English, but some of you won't be able to maintain your ability to speak in more than 5 minutes. So one of the objectives of this course is for you to to develop your stamina for speaking, which should last at least 15 minutes. Okay, because that's the duration of the test. So stamina here, tone. Okay, settle into a rhythm. Do you think that it's easy for you to settle into a rhythm when you when you start working at the beginning of the day? Phương Quốc Anh, can you hear me?
I have a bad connection, so can you
Repeat
read
the
again?
question.
Yes.
Here, settle into a rhythm. Do you think that it's easier? Do you think it's easy for you to settle into a rhythm when you start working at the beginning of the day?
No.
Tell me more about that. Nothing to say. So you can say something like, no, the point of me, when I ask you these vocabulary items, I would like you to try using them, including them in your sentences. Okay, so you can say something like, honestly, I feel like it's a bit difficult for me to settle into a rhythm at the beginning of a day. And it may be because, in the morning, I can't really concentrate that well. I'm easily distracted. And it usually takes me like 2 hours before I can actually get down to work. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, one more time, please. Do you think it's easy for you to settle into work? Into a rhythm, sorry.
Honestly, I find it difficult to settle down into a rhythm because in the morning I feel
Easily distracted.
and I cannot concentrate on what I have to do.
And usually it takes you how long for you to finally get down to work?
And it takes me for maybe an hour to do my work.
Okay, sure. That should make sense. Settle into a rhythm. Okay, Phương darling, or Hương for now. Phương darling, you're a teacher, right? And do you think that it's easy for you to like settle into a rhythm with your work? Do you have a rhythm, or are you still trying to find a rhythm?
Yes. Here. I'm busy right now. Sorry.
Okay, sure. Hương darling,
Yes,
what
I'm
do you
here.
think? Do you think that it's easy for you to settle into a rhythm, when you go to work every morning?
Yes, I think it's easy for me to settle all rhythm when I go to work in the morning. Yeah, because as a teacher, we need to take in time on 7:15 in the morning. If we cannot
7:15? Hold on, 7:15? 7,
Yeah.
1 and 5?
Yes.
Isn't that a bit too early?
Yeah, so we need to come to school early so that we don't need to pay the
So that you won't be penalized.
yes.
What? 7:15?
Yeah,
I was right
7:15.
not to go to work at any school. I mean, like 7:15,
Not
my body would be crying. Okay, continue. So you go to school very early,
Yes.
and
How
how exactly does that help in terms of helping you to like settle into a rhythm?
like when you're afraid of paying money for being
Being late.
late, you need to get up early, and for me, if I can follow that, I think
So you get up
habits,
early and then you go to
earlier.
school.
Yes, for
And
3 or 4 days, I can keep it up for
a long
a long
time.
time, and it can be settled into a rhythm.
So I can easily
I
settle
can.
into my rhythm. Okay, so I guess one of the key points here is that if you want to settle into, you know, a rhythm when it comes to work, you need to have kind of like a routine. Yeah,
Yes.
you need to have a routine. So you get up early in the morning, you go to school at the same time, and you get down to work the moment you get there. That's how you can settle into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, Hung, while you're speaking, can you cover the last sample here? One of my hobbies is
One of my hobbies is actually just to sleep when there's nothing going on. It can be a bit
dull.
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 Most other people would probably spend time playing video games or learning something new. But for me, napping is my favorite pastime. Maybe it's because my schedule is really too busy and I'm never not tired. But I'm always down for doing nothing, just laying there and shutting my eyes.
Okay, one question. Can you relate to this sample at all? Do you feel like you are never not tired?
I don't think so.
Well, then we can't be friends. When I was younger and I used to work with some of the people here, and I noticed that whenever I came to work, all of them were just tired the entire time. Okay, well then, what do you often do when there's nothing going on? As in, like, you have nothing to do.
When
When there's
When
nothing going on.
when there's nothing going on, I usually laying down on the bed and listening to the music to relax myself.
Okay, so that's when you're at home, like when you're at home and have nothing going on. What you do is
Yeah.
that you just lay on your bed, lounging all day long and listening to music. Okay, so how about at work? If there's nothing going on, what do you do? Do you like take a nap?
No, I don't.
And what do you do?
When there's nothing going on at work, I need some. I think I need some minutes to organize all my. I think I need some minutes to list all the to-do list I need to finish, and then after
Doing that, what do you do?
yeah, after doing that, I will do I know what to do first, and then I will finish.
Okay, so essentially at work, if there's nothing going on, you will check your to-do list to see
yeah.
if there's still, you know, something that you need to complete. And if there is something, you're gonna do it. And if there's nothing, then what will you do? Just relax, listen to music.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I mean, look, I'm not criticizing you. I just want to know because of the way you present your ideas. There's so many cases, and because there's so many cases, I am naturally curious, and your examiner will also be naturally curious about, you know, what you have to say next when you answer like that, right? When you extend your answer like that, you say, if I have nothing going on at work, I'm gonna check my to-do lists to see if, you know, there's anything else that I need to complete. If there is, I'm gonna get it done. But if, you know, everything is ticked out, then I'm just gonna relax listening to music. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, these are all the vocabulary that we have learned today. People, have you got any question? I would like one person to read all the vocabulary, the ones in bold. Just go down the list. Vương Trung Kiên, please. You look like you're spacing out. And can you turn on your light? This is gonna harm your eyes. Your eyes are already deteriorated enough.
Okay.
Oh, he's actually doing that. The power of a teacher. See that, people? Oh, well, this is not exactly good lighting for productivity. I mean, when you turn on this kind of light, you just want to go to bed.
No, actually, I just want you the yellow lights.
Yes, but that's the kind of light that you turn on when you want to go to bed.
No, I think it's enough.
Okay, sure, whatever. Now, the words in bold. Read them aloud. I'm checking your pronunciation. Come on.
What word?
Words in bold, the new vocabulary that we have learned today.
Peaceful.
Here. Good. Continue.
Quaint. Metropolitan centers.
Mm.
Home turf.
On home turf.
Yeah, on home turf. Mixed feelings.
Wait, hold on. Just to make sure that your examiner will understand that you're talking about that word, I would like to correct it. On home turf. Turf.
On home turf.
Yes, make an effort to pronounce words like that. Okay, on home turf. Next then.
Traffic jams.
Good, okay.
Used to it.
Good, used to it. You go down. Continue.
Used to it. Mixed feelings. Born and
mixed,
bred.
well, hold on. Mixed feelings, not feelings. It's feelings.
Mixed feeling.
Feelings.
Feeling.
Yes, the R is the E is a bit longer. Okay,
Mixed
continue.
feeling.
Okay,
Born and bred.
good.
Vibrant. Bustling. Hustling and bustling.
Good. Challenging word.
Ceaseless.
Excitement. Good. It's
Excitement.
pronounced as ceaseless, not ceaseless. It's ceaseless. Excitement.
Ceaseless. Excitement.
Okay, good. Continue.
Stressful.
Well, stress with the S. Stressful.
Stressful.
Yes, you tend to skip that S for no reason. Let's move on.
The place to be.
Okay. Thriving.
Line with a big fan. Under the radar.
Under the radar. Good. Thank you. Hằng, please, can you read the words in the third part here?
Yeah. Settle into a rhythm.
Rhythm is pronounced.
Yeah.
Yes,
rhythm.
settled into a rhythm.
Settle into a rhythm. Take my mind.
Oh, hold on. Can you pronounce it like this? Settle into a rhythm. Like there's a better flow to it. Settle into a rhythm. Connect this. Settle into a rhythm.
Yeah. Settle into a rhythm.
Good.
Take my
like
mind
that.
off work. Take my mind off work.
Oh, one more time. Take my mind off work.
But you said that you have to connect them.
It's okay. I can't rationalize everything. Just repeat and copy.
Okay.
Take my mind off work.
Take my mind off work.
One more time. Take my mind off work. Off work.
Take my mind off work.
Yes, you don't say take my mind off work. There's a deliberate pause there. But try to say take my mind off work. So there's a connection.
Take my mind off work.
No, take my mind off work.
Take my mind off work.
Okay, yeah, like that. Okay. Continue.
Stamina.
Okay.
Toned.
Toned. Yeah, it's O. It's O. It's not O. It's toned.
Told.
It's not O. It's O. Say toned.
Told.
One more time.
Yeah. Told.
It's toned. So toe and the toned.
Told.
Okay, slightly better. And now the last one. Yeah, the last ones.
Dear me,
Continue. Yeah.
there's nothing going on.
One more time. There's nothing going on. You say, oh wait, this is how you pronounce it. When there's nothing going on.
There's nothing going on.
One more time. When there's nothing going on.
There's nothing going on.
Okay. Dull. This
Dull.
word is dull. Yeah.
Dull.
Last time down 4. Okay. Cool. All right, people. It's already 7, but some of you are late. So I would like to wrap this lesson up with this tongue twister, these tongue twisters. Just finish one and you can go. And at the beginning of the next class, I'm going to ask you some questions in exercise number 2 here. See that? We have vocabulary in this part. Where can you find quaint old buildings in your country? Which region in your country has a vibrant cuisine? What do you do to take your mind off work outside of listening to music, right? And what do you do when there's nothing going on? Okay. So at the beginning of the next class, I'm going to ask you these questions. And okay, here, down here, tongue twisters. Finish one of them and you can leave. Who would like to go first? Ian, would you like to go first?
Can you go first?
Okay, Diệu Hoàng, go.
Ice cream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream.
It's a bit
Dessert,
slow. Yeah, a bit faster. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Like that.
ice
in one
cream.
breath.
You all scream for ice cream.
One more time.
Ice cream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream.
There was a gigantic pause at this part. You have to go in one breath. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. No stop.
Ice cream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream.
Good. Okay. Bye-bye. Continue. Other people. Oh, let me go down the list then. Quốc Anh.
I scream, you scream, we all scream. Can you hear me?
Okay. I can hear you, but it's a fail. Try the second one.
The second one. Seashells by the seashore.
One more time.
Seashells by
Wrong,
the
wrong, wrong,
seashore.
wrong. She sells seashells by the seashore. So this is where you have to stretch the words out. That's the secret. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Seashells, she sells.
Okay, next person. Vương Trung Kiên. Oh, Vương Trung Kiên is out of the picture. Hương.
The next one are the same sentence as Quốc Anh.
This one.
She sells seashells for the seashore.
Nope. You pause. You cannot pause here. She sells seashells by the seashore.
Okay, let me try again. She sells seashells by the...
Come on.
She
Ready?
sells seashells for the seashore.
By, not for.
Ah,
One more time.
she sells seashells by the seashore.
I expect you to do this next time, and I would like you to connect these two words. Okay. She sells seashells. All right, so on and so forth. Now, come on. Thank you, Hương. You can leave now. Hương or Kiên, who wants to go first? Kiên, then down here.
Near and ear and near ear and nearly eerie ear.
Ear. You should
Ear.
stretch the words out. Now, one more time. Near an ear, near an ear,
Oh,
a
oh, oh,
nearer ear, and a nearly eerie ear. Stretch the words.
That the word is eerie. Is that-
Eerie, yeah.
Near an ear. Sorry.
Near
Near
an
an
ear.
ear, a near ear, a nearly ear.
Okay, I'll give you a pass, but next time, next time a bit more connection. Okay, bye bye.
See
Quốc
you.
Anh, darling. Up here.
Okay. She sells by the seashore,
The seesaw, really? By the sea?
by the sea shore.
One more time.
She sells seashells by the seashore. It's
One
correct.
more time. It's not correct.
It's
one more time.
correct.
One more time.
She sells by the seashore.
Okay, next time, one more time. Phương, please choose a sentence. Phương.
6 sticky skeletons. 6 sticky skeletons. 6 sticky skeletons. Oh my god.
Fail. You have to read it three times without bumping. 6 sticky skeletons. Okay. Now one more time.
6 sticky skeletons. 6 sticky skeletons. 6 sticky skeletons.
One more time. One
Oh
more
my God.
time. Third time is a charm. Come on, girl.
Okay. 6 sticky skeletons. 6 sticky skeletons. 6 sticky skeletons.
Correct. Okay. Bye, y'all. That's the end of this class. I'll see you on
Yeah.
Saturday. Okay.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Uh,
Bye-bye.
Mr. College,
Yes.
that I need to talk that I will absent in on Saturday because I have the meeting with parents.
Oh, all of you?
Not all, just only me.
Oh, okay. Sure. then
Because
bye-bye.
I the only one here is the homeroom teacher.
Oh. Well, then have fun. We'll be
Yeah.
missing you.
Yes, but I really regret because it's the writing part.
Oh, no. On Thursday, it's back to reading. Yes. Because
Saturday.
we canceled the
Saturday.
class. We canceled the class on Tuesday. So
Ah,
everything got pushed
yeah.
back a little bit.
So
Okay.
next week,
Uh,
maybe.
so next week we'll get to writing, but this week is still reading.
Oh, still reading?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.